One of the most exciting tasks in LiveRUR is the creation of circular rural living labs in the partner regions. However, setting up pilot living labs such as these can be quite challenging. So this video aims to guide you through the process, one step at a time, helping to put all the other pieces we have discussed so far in place. Complementarily to the toolbox for circular rural living labs, a step-by-step guide has also been developed, which includes additional tools and programs that can support partner regions in setting up their pilots. This guide is based on a logical sequence of steps that aim to facilitate the pilot's preparation and their startup according to LiveRUR's goals. You just have to follow through each step and strive to achieve their expected outcomes. The process can be generically represented by this diagram that contains three main phases: set up, sustain, and scale up. However, you should bear in mind that this is just a predefined process or template that can be adjusted to your specific needs. You can even scrap this diagram and create your own. We will be focusing on the setup stage. As you can see, it comprises 9 steps, which in turn cover tasks regarding the preparation and the startup of the pilot. We will also be looking to 3 complementary programs that can help you on your daily operations. Looking back to the previous videos, we are able to find the tools and the rationales for the 5 steps of the preparation phase. When you have everything prepared, it is just a matter of putting things into practice. So, let's see what you should be doing in each step of the process. You should be starting with a definition of the purpose of your future living lab. Just ask yourself, what exactly do you want to do? You can use the RAIN business model as a starting point for a comprehensive discussion with your team. Your second step is to identify and map potential stakeholders. You should be listing the people and the organizations you want to have involved in the pilot living lab. Who are the stakeholders that can help you and create added value for your pilot project? There are several tools in the toolbox that can aid you in this task, but you should also resort to the stakeholder program. We will be briefly looking into it later on this video. At this stage, you know what you want to do and who to involve, so it is time to start planning an event to present your ideas to your potential stakeholders. It is critical to recall that living labs are open innovation ecosystems, and therefore you should be nurturing co-creation right from the very start of the living lab. That is, you should be stimulating your community and your stakeholders to actively participate in the development of the pilot project. There are a lot of ways you can do this. To make things easier, you might want to start with a simple co-creation workshop to present your ideas, gather feedback, and get people involved. Congratulations! This is the day of the pre-launch event. All you have to do is engage with your community and all the interested parties that are participating in the event. Talk to them, understand what are they interested in, and encourage their participation in the Living Labs initiatives. Don't forget to clearly present your vision for the Living Lab, showing how it is going to create value for your community, and then gather feedback to improve your RAIN business model. With the data and with the ideas you have collected during the pre-launch event, you can now prepare the pilot living lab according to your community's needs and interests. The question that needs to be answered is, how are the daily operations going to be? This part of the process can be quite demanding, since you will need to be considering and organizing a lot of important features, including your internal structure and governance, the necessary infrastructure and resources, as well as the services you will be providing. With everything ready and prepared, it is time to start and make things happen. In fact, you have already started, since the co-creation event is, in itself, a start for the Living Lab. Now, However, you will be focusing on supporting and leveraging other projects from your community and users. It is advised that you elaborate a critical task list to guide you through important tasks at this stage. Getting things started at the same time that you keep the momentum with multiple stakeholders and new projects can be overwhelming. You now have a fully working Pilot Living Lab. How are you managing its daily operations? It is vital that you keep looking for new funding opportunities, as well as keeping your team motivated, bringing in new projects, and optimizing your resources. Supporting innovative projects, ideas, and people is the core purpose of Living Labs. To make this a reality, you should be devising a special program to support these initiatives and to provide the means to be working on them. When explaining the complementary programs, we will be looking to a specific methodology for the development of new projects. But you should be mindful that each Living Lab has its own characteristics and may need or want to adopt a different program. The final step of the process is to show its results. It is important that your community, your stakeholders, and all other potentially interested parties know what is being done and achieved. Showing off your innovation outcomes is the best way for mobilizing more people to participate in the Living Lab. The communication program that is part of the complementary program pack can be quite useful for this last task. Recalling our overview of the process, we can highlight 3 complementary programs that have been created to help you developing the Pilot Living Lab. You should be aware that these programs are detailed in Livrue's step-by-step guide that accompanies the toolbox. The first piece of the pack is the Projects Development Program, which serves as a structured methodology to supporting your users and their projects. As mentioned before, you can create your own program according to your specific needs. Nevertheless, to do this, you should be preparing this program during step 5, at the same time that you are planning the services you will be providing and your resource allocation. This project's development program is prepared to support new ideas and ultimately transforming them into businesses. It makes these ideas undergo several stages that try to validate their answers to specific market needs. It starts with idea generation, continues with business fundamentals, undergoes a development stage, and finally ends with tasks associated with market entry. This program might not be ideal for community-based initiatives, requiring that you adjust it or resort to a whole different approach. The Stakeholder Program is the second tool in the pack. It aims to map, motivate, and ensure the participation of key stakeholders. It can be very useful right from step 2 of the general process, but it must be continuously worked on during the pilot's development. The Stakeholder Program is structured in 3 main stages, each one with specific aims. For each of these aims, particular tasks have been devised and some tools are suggested. Before the start of the Living Lab, you should be mapping your potential stakeholders, connecting and engaging with them. During the Pilot's Living Lab's existence, you need to be communicating and interacting with stakeholders in order to nurture a participatory, open innovation environment. Finally, since this is a pilot project, you need to be assessing and improving your interaction with these stakeholders with the aim of creating added value for your users and projects. The final tool in the complementary pack is the Communication Program. It was developed in order to assist promoting the Living Labs among stakeholders, local communities, partner networks, as well as in Livrue's networks. It covers all steps of the setup process, highlighting key moments for communicating. During the initial steps of the pilot's development, you should be preparing your communication initiatives. There is a lot of conceptual work to do at this stage, and all of this should be aligned with the purpose of the Living Lab. After that, There are many key moments when you should be communicating, using different tools, content and channels. What is important is to keep the buzz around the Living Lab and reach as much people on your target audience as possible. They need to know what you are doing and what is happening. As you can see, putting all these steps and tools together can be very challenging. However, the complexity of the process will always depend on your real-life setting and on the aims that you have for the Pilot Living Lab. Don't forget that this video accompanies a written step-by-step guide with much more details. Sticking to this guide will help you achieving the minimum requirements established in Livreur. Hopefully, you can bring in some additional value. All this process is very practical and demands a learning by doing approach. But there are some interesting features that can be learned from the Azores Pilot Living Lab. We have seen before that the Azores Circular Rural Living Lab is being structured in order to increase the quality and sustainability of the milk supply chain. Using the Livreur's toolbox, we have also seen how different tools have been used to prepare the pilot project and its future development. The previous 8 videos comprise summarized descriptions of these initiatives. It is now the moment to see how the process is being carried out one step at a time. The development of the Pilot Living Lab in Terinov is following a similar process to the one that has been presented so far. It has started with a definition of its purpose, resorting to the RAIN business model and to the SWOT analysis. Stakeholders have been identified and mapped out using the stakeholder matrix. To accelerate the process, several tasks regarding the preparation of the Living Lab's startup have also been developed. A value proposition map and a scaling plan have been worked out, while testing spaces have been planned. The Livreur project evaluation tool has been used to identify the expected innovation outcomes to be achieved. Currently, the Azores team is planning a co-creation event to bring stakeholders together. The aim is to present the work that has been done so far and to gather feedback to improve the pilot's business model. This is going to set the official start of the Pilot Living Lab. One very interesting aspect is that there will be a pilot within the pilot. BioAzorica is a cooperative that aims to encourage the production and consumption of organic products. Therefore, in the Azores Pilot Living Lab, the first project will be aimed at the development of biological production systems and procedures. Starting off with a specific project is a great way of optimizing resources and keeping the focus on the ultimate goal. And this is it. With 9 videos, we have covered the fundamental aspects of circular rural living labs and showed how to bring a pilot project into practice. It is now time to get your hands dirty and create a pilot in your region.